Virginia High Bearcat basketball will be on the air in 5 minutes. Three minutes. Two minutes until airtime. Sixty seconds. Thirty seconds till Bearcat basketball. Fifteen seconds.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's time for Bearcat basketball from the radio home of Virginia High Athletics. You're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Show on Bearcat Radio. Good afternoon, and welcome to tonight's edition of Virginia High Basketball on Bearcat Radio. Tonight, the Cats host the Tazewell Bulldogs for a Southwest District throwdown here in Bristol. This is Dylan Hutton along with Coach Reese Sidnor as we get set for another evening of Bearcat hoops from the Den. And Coach, the Bearcats return home after a loss at Tennessee High. However, they won their last game. They were here against Marion, and it was a Southwest District game. What do the Cats need to do to reach the 4-win mark? Right now they're sitting at 3-3 in the Southwest District. What do they need to do to get to 4-3?
I think you take it one game at a time, one opponent at a time. So you focus on tonight's opponent. One of my big keys is don't be overconfident in this game. You went to Tazewell last time and you beat them, and I think that was a strong showing for our boys. But again, just like the girls' game, they're here to play, and they're here to beat us tonight. So don't come to this game overconfident. Just take care of business, and you should win. But you got to focus on this game. Don't look towards Richlands. We had a big win against Richlands, and we have them Friday. Don't look towards the battle game this weekend, because that's a big rivalry game. Don't look towards it. Focus on Tazewell tonight, because I do believe we had a big win against them, and I hope we're not going to look past Tazewell tonight.
And moving on to that point, we welcome you to the Bearcat Tip-Off Show here on Bearcat Radio. Whether you're from Tazewell tuning in or from Bristol tuning in, pulling for the black and orange tonight. And some more questions here for Coach Sidnor. Let's get them pulled up here real quick. Coach, two different Cats have scored 20-plus in the last two games. Gavin Austin had 25 against Marion, and Tyler Strong had 28 against Tennessee High. If you're Coach Raznick, how do you gauge who's hot early on, and how much of your offense would be facilitated through those two? How many trips down the floor you got to have them touch the ball?
Well, right now, for me, offense runs through Gavin, Alex, and Tyler. It runs through those three players. And you got to figure out who has a hot hand early. And I think the biggest thing is, for me to gauge who has a hot hand, who's not forcing bad shots, and I talked about that against Tennessee High. If Tazewell make a couple buckets and we find ourselves behind, don't come down and force a bad shot. So I think he'll be looking for who's forcing bad shots and turn the ball over. And what I mean by that, you're coming down trying to do things out of character, trying to do a little bit too much. You have three guys who can put up 20-plus points, okay? So share the ball, find out who's hot early. And like I said, to me, the way you gauge that, who is taking, I hate to say it, but who's taking smart shots. But like I said, don't force anything and don't turn it over.
We'll see how they can do on that end. We've talked about tempo, too, quite a bit in the last game. Let's do it again. How do the Bearcats manage the tempo tonight against Tazewell, and where do you feel they're most comfortable as a team?
I mean, I think they want to play fast. I think Coach Raskin wants to play fast, and I think the kids are comfortable with that. But I think tonight it's very simple. We are the better team tonight. So I look over there and I think, okay, we're gonna play fast tempo tonight, okay? But if we come out to a slow, sluggish start, slow it down, like what we did against Tennessee High. That first quarter, we played we wanted to slow it down. So if we come out, we miss some shots early, we're not in a groove, we're not in sync yet, slow it down. We got a couple different players. Like let's go to the post players inside if we can't hit the outside shots. But I do know we want to play fast tempo, and I think we do want to do it against them. But again, if we start off slow the tempo down. Let the game dictate itself.
Let's go look at the previous meeting between these two teams. The Cats came away with a win in that one, 74-60 there on the road at Tazewell. It turned into a pretty chippy game, so hopefully things stay pretty clean this afternoon. Let's look at the last game for each team. The Bearcats, of course, coming off that tough loss to Tennessee High, 93-71. The Cats fall to 4-2 when they score 70 or more points on the year. Tyler Strong led all scorers. He had 28 points in that one. Inman with 16, and Gavin Austin had 14. Virginia High only trailed 28-26 with 4 minutes to go in that first half, and then the Vikings went on a 17-7 run. That made the 6th straight win for Tennessee High over Virginia High. So definitely some things you could take away from that game, and tempo being an important one, and also being able to hold on to the ball and staying within your offense. We've seen with tempo, it wasn't just that. It was just like not being on the same page when you were wanting to push it.
Right, yes. We had some kids trailing. You didn't have everybody down, and we were trying to force some things, and we didn't have numbers.
So both teams warming up here for the boys' varsity matchup. 4:30 on the clock before we get this one going here from the Den. The last game from Tazewell, they lost big to Graham, but Graham's, again, 13-1 last time I checked. They're 89-42 win over that. Tennessee High turned the ball, or Tazewell High School turned the ball over 25 times in that loss, and Graham led 35-7 at the end of the first quarter. It's a dominant performance for Graham.
Graham's a really good team, really good ball club.
The leading scorer for Tazewell, Jameer Belevins, he had 9. Gavin Nunley had 8 points. This is a Tazewell team that's 3-12 on the year, 0-6 in the district. So they're looking to sort of change the fortunes tonight. Their head coach, Patrick Krantz, second-year head coach. It's the first time since 2012 that they've had a returning head coach on the boys' varsity. This is really a basketball program in general, girls and boys. It's really had a hard time holding on to coaches and really staying, the continuity being an issue here. So maybe they can hang around.
And that makes it tough on kids. You know, when you're changing coaches, you know, every year, every couple years, you can't get a system in. And even if you have a young ball club, it helps if you can get a system in so they can get comfortable with it. So by their junior, senior year that they're playing well and they're playing like they know the system back of their hand.
And for the Cats, they're 4-13 on the year, 3-3 in the Southwest District, sort of hanging around there in the middle of the pack in the district standings. They're led by head coach Wayne Rasnick in his second stint with the Bearcats. He was here from 2010 to 2013, and he's back here for his second run. This is his first year back for the Bearcats. Tonight's game is brought to you by State Line Motors and also BSN Sports in Bristol. Let's give you a timeout here. We'll be back with storylines, players to watch, and the keys to the game as we near tip-off from this one from Bristol.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Whoa, long time no see. It's me, the Rock T-shirt in the back of your closet. Dude, remember? You crowd surfed in me, man. But you haven't worn me in like forever. I get it, you're retired, but I still got some rock left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff. Create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Bearcat Den. A minute 40 till we get this thing tipped off. And let's take a look at the storylines for tonight's game. The Bearcats trying to get over 500 in the Southwest District. A win would put them at 4-3. And they would have the season sweep over Tazewell in the process. Meanwhile, Tazewell trying to snap an 8-game losing streak and notch their first district win of the year. And let's take a look at players to watch. And for the Cats, we're going to go with Tyler Strong, 4th in the Southwest District in scoring, 14 points per game. Coming off that one against Tennessee High where he scored 28. So we'll see how he can do. And then for Tazewell, we're going to go with number 24 for them, Sydney Willis, 6'4", sort of towers above everyone out on the floor, sitting over there at the bench. You can definitely tell he's one of the taller guys that's going to be on the floor tonight. So see how the Cats can stop him in the post as we'll go now quickly here to Coach Sidnor for the keys to the game.
3 keys real quick. Number 1, don't beat ourselves. Limit the turnovers. Number 2, force the tempo when we can. If we're playing hot, if we got somebody got the hot hand, force the tempo. And then the last one, just stay focused. Worry about tonight. Don't get started looking ahead. Just focus on the team. Don't come this overconfident.
And it's a big week for the Cats. Got a couple of more games coming up this week in case you weren't aware of the schedule. Of course, the game got pushed back to tonight for this one, but then the Cats will go to Richlands on Friday, and then they'll go to Battle. So back-to-back, 3 of their last 4 games are on the road, but the girls still owe another game to Graham. So they've got to host Graham coming up on February 7th. Right after they host Lebanon. So that's a tough little turnaround there. They got to play Lebanon and then to play Graham the next night.
Now, I'm looking over there at our bench, and I really didn't look during warm up. Did we have a word on? I don't see Gavin Austin over there.